you're going to have a lot of networking opportunities. And I think that was one of the main things that people really loved about the Northstar Real Estate Conference last year was all the networking. And so we're committed to having that as an integral part of this online event.
Hello and welcome to Pillars of Wealth Creation, where we talk about creating financial success with a special focus on business and real estate. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. Now, let's get to it. Hello, welcome back to Pillars of Wealth Creation. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. With me, as always, we got Matt Jones. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Todd?
We're doing fantastic. Just got back from my first out-of-state trip since COVID broke out. I was planning a trip actually kind of right at that time, and then like the world was on fire. And so I decided, I'll just cancel that. Quite frankly, it was really because like nothing was going to be open and nobody wanted to see me anyway, right? Everybody was kind of like, let's just take it easy. So I thought I'll postpone that, and I postponed it until just the last 2 days, which was really good. I'm glad I went. It was definitely needed and got a lot accomplished. So I was really happy with that.
Awesome. Yeah. And I saw your live streams from that as well. So
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I went into a couple of my assets in one of the cities that I'm investing in. And things are just going really well. And I kick myself a little bit for not making that change, but it's a hard change to make. I made a property management change. And, I wish I would have done it 6 months earlier, quite frankly, or maybe even longer. But it is what it is at this point in time. I made the change after a lot of deliberating. And the other thing is too, I was talking with the property management company that I previously had. They knew the issues that were at hand, and they had a plan, an action plan to correct the issue. And they were actually making some progress, but then it kind of stalled out. And that's when I said, okay, now is time to move on. I'm not going to continue. And that's really when the decision happened, was when that action plan that they had made, that they had promised, stalled out. And I said, okay, I got to do something here. And we've went from 70, I think it was like 77%, 78%, somewhere around there, blended between the properties, percent occupancy, to now we're at like 92% blended occupancy, which is really awesome. Collections are going pretty well, and just you could tell like the overall feel of the properties felt so much better than it ever previously had. We're sitting here, we've got units pre-leased. Like we can't get them ready fast enough. And that's the only reason why we're, quite frankly, not probably 100% occupied, is because we can't get these things done as quickly as we need to. So we're working on it. We're working hard on it. We've got quite a few units that are being worked on right now, and more slated to start here, which is great. It's a great feeling to have when finally things start turning in the right direction, especially after a long and arduous road, man. And then I got another property that I own in Cincinnati that I really needed to check out. We've had some issues with it. Namely, we have a foundation issue going on, and just some other minor things with that property. So I wanted to check it out. I wanted to meet with some contractors, wanted to really get my mind wrapped around everything that's going on. So I was able to do that, which was really good. Able to see a couple properties, meet with a couple people, and really felt like a trip that was definitely accomplished a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing with real estate. You got to be adaptable to change. And if you ignore problems, they're not just going to go away.
We all want, maybe not all, but a lot of us go, hey, real estate. I want to get into this real estate thing because it's passive income. And it sounds really good, right? It sounds like awesome, right? We collect We buy these properties and we sit on a beach, drink our drinks, hang out, and we just have this mailbox money coming in. Sounds pretty spectacular, right? But the reality is that's just not the way it is if you're going to own the property. And the only way to really do that is to be a passive investor. And passive investor means you're investing in syndications, you're a hard money guy, but that's even not passive, or gal. Maybe if you're investing in like a Walgreens or a Dollar General, but even that, still kind of active. And quite frankly, those things, they don't appreciate. All they do is depreciate. So really, there's no way around it unless you're going to be investing passively in a syndication, in my opinion. Other people might have varying opinions, but that's what I believe. So you've got to put work into it. You can't just ignore them. And like you said, the problems aren't just going to go away. They're only going to get worse if you don't want to actually do something about them.
Yep, exactly. It's kind of like with the Northstar Real Estate and COVID coming into play, right? When we're about to have that in-person event. So we have had to adapt as well.
Definitely. Which is what I want to talk about, Matt, today. I just want to let the listeners know kind of what we're doing, give them an update, and how we're excited about kind of the direction we're going with conference. So as most people know, we are going to have this conference April 21st, 22nd, or 20th, 21st, or whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, of 2020. And of course, COVID happened and it smacked us around a little bit. I held on tight, man. I thought we were going to still have it. For some reason, my brain just didn't register this whole seriousness of the COVID thing. And I'm like, whatever, we're going to be back to, normal by then, and we'll be able to hold our conference. And of course that didn't happen at all. It's June, 17th, 18th right now, June 18th. And we're still not back to normal. We still wouldn't be able to hold a conference that size in Minnesota, at least, in most states, quite frankly. And so what we decided to do, Matt, and you're a part of this, is we decided to postpone the live conference until April of 2021. And it's going to be that same weekend. Do you have the date? Do you remember the date?
April 23rd and 24th.
April 23rd and 24th. So it's a Friday, Saturday. Again, it's going to be same location in Bloomington, kind of right by the Mall of America. So that's going to be the same. And if you're a ticket holder and going, whoa, what do I do? It's 2021. Well, your tickets are still valid for that. And what we're going to do is give you a sweet deal then, because what we're having is a virtual conference that's going to be coming to you in October of 2020. And Matt, do you have that date?
October 23rd and 24th.
October 23rd, 24th, we're going to have a 2-day virtual event, and we're going to make it kick ass. It's not going to be your normal, there's just a bunch of speakers spitting information at you and you can't interact. We're going to make it interactive. We're going to make it a really good virtual conference versus, some of the other ones that are maybe out there that, I don't know, they're okay. They've got good speakers, but it's missing that element, right? It's missing that element of personal contact, which is what we really want. The reason, Matt, that we decided to change and not to hold, because we were talking about holding a live one in October, even September. But the problem is we don't know where we're going to be at. They keep talking about a second wave and a spike, and we're probably not going to shut the economy down. At least I hope we're not going to shut the economy down like we did. But that doesn't mean we're going to be open for conferences of 200 to 300 people, which is kind of what we expect, about 250 people at our live event. Well, so what happens if we get all this ready to go? Everybody's teed up to speak. Tickets are being sold, and then all of a sudden, a month or even a couple of weeks before the conference, there's this second outbreak, whatever, and we can't hold it again. Duh, that stinks, and then we have to postpone. So we decided we're just going to postpone it till April. No rush. Let's be smart about it, and let's have the virtual event instead in October.
Yep. And I really love the way that we're going to be doing the virtual event, like you said, it's going to be more interactive than just a webinar or a YouTube video or whatever, because you interact with the speaker as they're speaking. You know, they can see you, you can see them, and there's going to be a lot of breakout sessions in small groups, like maybe 3 or 4 people at a time, where you're going to have a lot of networking opportunities. And I think that was one of the main things that people really loved about the Northstar Real Estate Conference last year, was all the networking. And so we're committed to having that as an integral part of this online event.
Yeah, we'll do a virtual happy hour. You know, you'll be in smaller groups. For a virtual happy hour, you can bring your, you know, your drinks, your drinks with alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks, whatever you want. But we're gonna have the virtual happy hour. We're gonna have just a lot of cool stuff. Like you said, we'll have breakout rooms and you know, speakers will speak. They'll have their opportunity to speak, but then we'll have little kind of breakout sessions from there, and that the speakers will be involved in. You'll be able to have Q&As with the sponsors who, you know, some of them you'll really want to get to know, and so that'll be really good. We'll have a lot, like you said, we'll have a lot more opportunity for that networking, which in my opinion, for me, at least for someone in my position, that's the most valuable part about these conferences, is this networking. I want to get to know people, right? I want to get to know people that might be my investors. I want to get to know people that might be interested in my coaching program. I want to get to know people that might be a future partner of mine, that might have a deal for me, that might, you know, want to, you know, whatever, offer anything that's going to help my business along, or somebody that I might be able to provide great value to as well. Or just somebody who's in the industry that thinks a lot like me, you know, has the mindset that I kind of gravitate towards, and that, you know, look, we can be just friends. Like, that's so valuable. We talk about hanging around with like-minded people. We talk about you become the people you hang around with. Well, that's what's so valuable about, you know, coming to a live Northstar Real Estate Conference, is that you're finding those types of people, and that's who you're around, and we can gravitate towards them. We can become friends with them. I don't know how many people, I should keep track of it, that I either now coach, have invested with me, or are just friends with through meeting at the Northstar Conference or other conferences. There's more than a handful of people that I've met through, you know, our conference and other conferences that I'm friends with, that I consider myself friends with. And that's a huge part of it. And that's what we want to try to incorporate in the virtual event. And of course, the live event in April, but the virtual event in October, we really want to incorporate that. And I think that's really important.
Yeah. And what sort of topics are going to be covered at the virtual event in October?
Yeah, so we're kind of changing it. We had said that this is going to be hey, if you're into real estate, like, come to our conference, right? But we thought, you know, that's really broad. Like, who do we really truly want to serve? Well, I am a multifamily value add investor, right? I like cash flowing real estate. It speaks to me, whether it's multifamily, whether it's office, whether it's retail, whether it's industrial, whether it's self-storage, it speaks to me, right? And multifamily speaks to me probably the most, or does the most. But you, John, Erica, everybody involved in putting this together, we all are in that same boat, right? We all value cash flowing rental real estate. And that's what we really want to give to our audience, is that. So that's what we're covering. We're covering cash flowing rental real estate. And we want to make sure people are understanding it. So again, whether you're a beginner or whether you're pretty advanced, we're going to be covering a lot of topics that are of interest to you. We're going to cover things like syndication. We're going to cover things like just raising private money, not syndication. We're going to cover things like finding the deals and working with brokers, and of course some mindset stuff. different underwriting techniques, asset management techniques, all the things necessary to be successful if you want to own cash flowing real estate, if you want to create that financial freedom that it allows.
Yeah. So if you want to build and expand a portfolio of cash flowing real estate, this
Right.
is a great event to attend.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so I think that's hopefully going to be helpful to our audience to really dial into what we're focused on versus covering some topics that, maybe some people are interested in and only a few people are. I think we're going to really be able to dial in and get topics that our whole audience base is really interested in. And I think Pillars of Wealth Creation, the podcast, ties into that. I've got a Facebook page, which, by the way, if you're listening to this, join our Facebook page, Multifamily Mastermind Facebook page. Just look it up. And, or group, I should say. It's a group. And so, and then I've got, the meetup and the coaching. And so it all ties together. And same thing with you. I mean, and John and like Erica, it all ties together really well. And I think it makes a lot of sense to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, we're going to be giving away some swag. So everybody who buys a ticket in advance, we're going to ship you directly to your house a box of really cool stuff.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So we got some good speakers, and those will be a kind of announced soon. I mean, we will have some of the same speakers that were there before. Jason and Pili Rusi, expect to see Andrew Campbell and Vic Raya, Trevor McGregor, just a Drew Whitson, a host of people that you guys have potentially already heard of or already see and can go on the website and see as well. So we'll be announcing more as we get going.
Awesome. Very good.
All right, man. Well, do you have anything else to say about the live or virtual conference?
The tickets are going to be going on sale in July. So we'll be sending out information, and you can go to nreconference.com to look that up when we have those details ready to go.
Yeah, probably. What are we thinking? Like the week or so after the 4th of July, we should have that ready.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So those will be ready. And like Matt said, it's October, would you say 23rd and 24th?
Yep.
October 23rd, 24th. So I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, look, if you like real estate, if you like the cash flow, and if you want to create some financial freedom and get your mindset right, and then meet some awesome people, probably an event for you. If you don't like all that stuff, then you shouldn't join us.
I'm excited for the cash flow conference.
Cool, man. Anything else, Matt?
No, that's it for today.
Awesome. Well, you have a fantastic rest of the day, man, and make every day Saturday.
Sounds good. You too.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you being a loyal listener. I would love to have you go on to our Facebook page and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Go on to iTunes or wherever you listen and give us a rating and review. Don't forget to subscribe. Your rating and review just helps us push this out to more and more people and continue to grow our audience and hopefully positively affect a ton of people out there that really need this and want this. So the other thing I've got for you is a free ebook on my website. So go on to venturedproperties.com, and download our free ebook on real estate and on syndication. And I've got some data points in there, some really good stuff for you. So I'd love to have you take a look at that. It's free. I'm not expecting anything from it. And also, look, if you want some help in multifamily, want some help learning, growing, getting your business off the ground, I would love to talk to you about what it would look like to work with me potentially and see if that's a good fit. So you can go to coachwithdex.com and check that out, and we can definitely have a call. Thanks a lot for listening. You make it a fantastic rest of the day. I'll catch you on the next episode.